Hey, Bradley. Hey, congratulations for The Devil Below.
Oh, thank you.
So it's been a while since you have directed, I want to say, Chernobyl Diaries,
That's right.
which is coincidentally is what was one of my first films I ever covered for Warner Brothers long time ago. But
Oh, cool.
why did you want to come back into the director's chair after all these years?
Well, it takes a while to pull films together. I've been attached to a number of pictures, and for various reasons, either actors fall out or there are executive changes at studios and things. Projects have fallen by the wayside. So this was next on deck, and I was excited about it. So yeah, and I've never really fallen out of the director's chair. I've been doing second unit on films like The Batman and things like that. So keeping the sort of the muscles flexed there in a way. But yeah, I'm excited to have done this.
Now, for The Devil Below, what initially attracted you? Because obviously something actually had to pull you to do a horror film like The Devil Below this time around.
Yeah, there were a couple of things. I mean, first and foremost, it's unabashedly a monster movie, and that really excites me. I grew up on them, and I love them. The other thing is just this the idea of this militia that defies your expectations, right? It's like you see these people and you make an assumption about what they might be like or what they're about, and it turns out that there's something very different than that. So that was exciting. The other thing was one of the similar things that drove me to do Chernobyl Diaries, which is this sense of adventure and horror. Going to a place that's evocative, creepy, scary, and unique, and kind of exploring it. I grew up on the East Coast, and there was this town in Pennsylvania called Centralia that was shut down because there were underground coal fires. The entire town became dangerous, and it was a ghost town. And I used to explore places like that when I was young. So the idea of setting a film in an area a little bit like that was very exciting.
Now, if I'm trying to recall Chernobyl Diaries because it's been a while since I've seen it, but wasn't that a found footage film?
No, it was more of a verite style. I'm a fan of this sort of early Paul Greengrass films or things like Children of Men, where the camera's active and often hand operated, but it's not literally meant to be found footage in any way. It's just more embedding you in the story and bringing you along for the journey. Although there are some elements, there were, one or two elements of found footage in Chernobyl, and there are one or two elements of, I guess you could call found footage in this, like the night vision sequence, for example.
Yeah, it is. So technically, The Devil Below here is quite a departure from the directing style that you did with the Chernobyl. Right?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's there was a chance to do some newer things and to try some newer things. We had a little bit more time, excuse me, a little bit more time to shoot this one, which was helpful. And that allowed for us to set things up and be a little bit more purposeful with some of our shots. But it was still a loose style. We still had fun with it and kind of kept things moving at a steady clip. I think it keeps
excellent. Yeah. So either way, I do love your style because obviously I watched your first movie and I watched this movie. Okay, so let's talk about the creature feature that's actually in this movie. How did you want to develop the look of this creature? Because it looks horrifying. I'm not even sure how I could describe this humanoid.
Well, horrifying is a perfect adjective. I mean, if you could choose one, I would want it to be that, because it was meant to be horrifying. The idea was to sort of think about what a creature might look like that spent its life underground, only came topside once in a while. And there are films that have done this before. There's the mole people and things like this that have explored those ideas. But I think we took it in a new place with this kind of snail shell skull and sort of a some tardigrade elements and underground insect elements and things like that. and kind of pulled all those pieces together, but tried to make them plausible. I mean, without giving too much away, there's a reason, story reason why these creatures look the way they do. And I think you'd have to watch the film to find that out.
Now, from my understanding, these were practical creatures, practical costumes that you actually created. It's not CGI for the film, right?
Yeah, for the most part, it's stunt people in suits with CGI augmentation. It's sort of digital prosthetics. My background is in visual effects, and I was well aware of sort of the budget and time limitations on this film, and figured, you know what, let's root this in a sense of reality that gives the actors something real to respond to. And anytime we need something to articulate in a way that we can't do practically, we'll augment that digitally to enhance it and kind of fool the eye a bit. So yeah, I'd say it's 80% live action, 20% digital.
Wow. For the costume themselves, are they like comfortable for your stunt team or anything?
No,
like that?
no, not even close. They're an absolute misery to wear. It's foam, rubber, and epoxy and plastic. It's all safe, but yeah, it's hot and sweaty in there. It's hard to see, but that's the nature of the game, and our stunt team and our performers kind of go into it knowing that, and the limitations that they might have physically can kind of come through in really interesting ways in their modes of locomotion. Like a character might appear to be limping. Well, part of that might be that the suit won't work perfectly if you have a full gait, but we roll with that and try to wrap it into who these creatures are and give them unique personalities.
That's amazing, because if they had limited maneuverability, you could barely tell through the speed that they actually run through everything in the film.
Oh yeah, they can move at a steady clip for sure. It's just anytime there's a range of motion that's pulled back a couple of degrees or something, we try to lean into that, enhance it, and kind of make it feel like it's part of what these characters are.
Now, a lot of your film takes place, I want to say, in the dark, whether it's nighttime in the forest or in the caverns and so on. Did that actually prove to be a challenge to you, especially with the lighting, especially that you want to sometimes show what's actually happening or with the creatures?
Not really. I mean, Morgan Susser, our cinematographer, and I are both accustomed to working in the dark and kind of carving out space. The great thing about shooting at night is that you literally can carve with light. You can place individual light sources to kind of draw the eye's attention to certain spots, or pull the eye away from something as a misdirect. I think the more challenging thing was working underground. Working in a system of caves, was really difficult. We had done some of that in Chernobyl Diaries. We did a lot of it in this movie. I'd say a good portion of our shoot schedule was literally underground, with us working like miners, going down literally into the coal mines, and shooting all day long, having our lunch down there, and coming up topside at the end of our day.
Wow, that's like an awesome field trip. Where are these caverns that you shot at?
All over Kentucky. We shot the movie all over Kentucky, like deep in the sort of Appalachian territories, in Louisville. There's one that people can visit that's really exciting. It's called I think it's called Mega Cavern, and it's right there in Louisville, and it's absolutely incredible. You could drive a tractor trailer right into this place. It's got 100-foot ceilings. It's wild.
Wow. Is this small mining town, was that a creation, or was there an actual location?
There was an actual location that we enhanced. We tried, and this is a lesson learned on Chernobyl Diaries, is that to create a sense of place on a limited budget, well, sometimes it's better to go to that place. As hard as it is to find it, it's less expensive to go on scouting missions and discover these places than it is to try to create them digitally or build big sets. So we went on an extended scout all through Kentucky and found really gorgeous and really cool locations that were, say, 80, 90% percent of, you know, what we needed to do.
Wow. It sounds like you extensively learned a lot since since Chernobyl.
Oh yeah, actually, every film, every project is a learning experience, and I think you know, all filmmakers try to take those lessons forward and try to improve their game.
I'm curious because Chernobyl was in the horror genre. This is in the horror genre. Is this just you just have a love of horror, or just this just happened to fall on your lap?
You know, I love all things, not just horror, and you know, I do intend to make films that are not horror, but I'll also continue to make horror because it's an absolute blast. I mean, nothing is more fun than you know, building a haunted house for people to, you know, go on a ride through. It's an absolute blast.
Let's discuss about your cast because you have a few individuals, basically a small group. Actually, I don't know why they want to investigate the unknown. That's always the formula for horror. But why are they perfect for something like this?
Well, I mean, this group of actors are perfect because they're really sort of generous with one another in the way that they act. It's important, I think, to cast actors that can play off of one another, listen to one another, and kind of riff in a semi-improvisational style. And this team was really great that way. They all got along very, very well. And yeah, they were able to kind of improv and riff off each other in a really supernatural way.
Excellent. Well, Bradley, let me leave with one more question. What did you call the creatures on set?
The creatures. Yeah, we didn't actually give them names. The idea is that they're this unknown that we want people to project their own ideas onto. So we deliberately chose not to name them, but they do have personalities. You know, there was Creature 1 and Creature 2, and there is a method to the madness. You know, there are ones that are scouts, there are ones that are soldiers, there are ones that, you know, do other things that I don't want to give away.
Absolutely. Well, hey, Bradley, hey, thank you very much. Like I said before, this movie is horrifying, but you know what? I love these type of movies. So thank you for bringing this up.
Thank you so much. Great to meet you.
Thank you. Bye now.
All right. Bye.